We all know that a CRM is only as good as the way you use it, and heading into 2026, Pipedrive has rolled out some pretty heavy-hitting updates that change the game. It's not just about tracking deals anymore, it's about making the system work for you so you can focus on the actual selling. Today, we're going to walk through 7 essential tips and tricks that'll help you navigate these new features like a pro. To get things moving, we really need to talk about the backbone of your CRM, which is your contact list. In 2026, the way we handle contact sync has become much more refined to prevent that dreaded data duplication. When we look at setting this up, we always recommend going with the two-way sync between Pipedrive and your provider, whether that's Google or Microsoft. You'll find this under your personal preferences in the account settings. The trick here is to use the label mapping feature. Instead of just dumping every single person from your phone or email into the CRM, we can set specific filters so only contacts labeled customer or lead in our external account actually make the jump over. This keeps your Pipedrive environment clean right from the jump. Also, a big update for this year is the improved field mapping for social media handles and secondary WhatsApp numbers, which means when we sync, we're getting a full 360-degree view of how to reach someone without having to manually type in those extra details later. Moving right along, once those contacts are in, we have to keep things tidy, and that's where data organization comes into play. We found that the most successful teams are moving away from messy long-form notes and toward custom fields with specific grouping. In the latest 2026 interface, you can actually group your custom fields into sections like marketing data or contract details. This is a lifesaver because it hides the clutter you don't need to see during a quick discovery call. Another pro tip we suggest is utilizing the pinned filters at the top of your pipeline. Instead of digging through menus to find deals closing this month, we can now pin these views so they're always one click away. We also recommend setting up mandatory fields for specific pipeline stages. This ensures that no one can move a deal to the proposal stage without first inputting the estimated budget, keeping your data integrity high and your forecasting accurate for the rest of the year. Now that we're organized, we can start reaching out, and the group emailing feature is where we see a lot of people saving hours of manual labor. The key for 2026 is the integration of smart merge tags. When we send out a blast to a segment of leads, we aren't just limited to first name anymore. We can now pull in data from those custom fields we just organized, like mentioning their specific industry or last purchase date automatically. To do this effectively, we head over to the Contacts tab, select our filtered list, and hit Send Group Email. One thing we always remind folks is to check the email set limits on your specific plan, as Pipedrive has updated these to ensure high deliverability rates. A neat trick for this year is the Send in Threads option. If you already had a conversation with these leads, Pipedrive can now send your group email as a reply to the previous thread rather than a brand new message, which makes it feel way more personal and significantly boosts your open rates. Speaking of efficiency, we can't overlook how we distribute these incoming leads, and Assignment is the tool that makes that happen without any manual hovering. This is especially huge for teams that are growing fast. We go into the automation section and set up assignment rules based on specific criteria. For example, we can route any lead from the West Coast territory directly to our California-based reps, but the 2026 update takes it a step further with round-robin logic that factors in user capacity. This means if one of our reps is already juggling 20 active deals, the system is smart enough to skip them and give the next lead to a teammate who has more breathing room. It prevents burnout and ensures that every lead gets a fast response. We also recommend setting up a fallback user just in case no one meets the specific criteria, so no potential customer ever falls through the cracks and ends up in a CRM black hole. As we start seeing movement in our outreach, we need to know what's actually working, and that's where the campaign's insights really shine. In 2026, the reporting has moved beyond just opens and clicks. We now have access to revenue attribution within the campaign's dashboard. This allows us to see exactly how much money a specific email sequence generated. When we're looking at these reports, we like to dive into the device breakdown and link heat maps. If we see that 80% of our clicks are coming from mobile, mobile, but our landing pages are optimized for desktop, we know exactly what to fix. A great trick here is using the compare feature. We can take two different email campaigns and overlay their performance metrics to see which messaging style resonated more with our audience. It takes the guesswork out of marketing and lets us double down on the strategies that are actually driving the bottom line. Building on that momentum, we have to talk about LeadBooster, which is essentially like having a 24/7 sales assistant on your website. This add-on has matured a lot, and for 2026, the chatbot and live chat integration is smoother than ever. We suggest setting up playbooks that are triggered by specific user behavior. For instance, if a visitor stays on your pricing page for more than 30 seconds, the bot can pop up and offer a quick PDF guide or a link to book a demo. The Prospector tool within LeadBooster is also a goldmine for outbound sales. It gives us access to a massive database of verified business contacts. The trick here is to use the lookalike feature. We can feed in our best current customers, and the prospector will find other companies with similar profiles. It's a much more surgical way to do outreach compared to the old spray and pray methods of the past. Finally, we have to touch on the AI features that have become the brain of Pipedrive in 2026. The AI sales assistant is no longer just giving us basic reminders. It's now providing win probability scores for every deal in our pipeline. We can see a little percentage icon that tells us how likely a deal is to close based on historical data and current activity levels. If we see a high-value deal with a dropping percentage, that's our cue to jump in and save it. We're also huge fans of the AI email summarizer. If we're jumping into a deal that a colleague was handling, the AI can give us a quick 3-sentence summary of the entire email history so we don't have to read through dozens of messages to get up to speed. It's all about reducing the cognitive load on our reps so they can spend their energy on building relationships rather than digging for information. At the end of the day, Pipedrive in 2026 is all about working smarter, not harder. By leaning into these automations and AI-driven insights, we're able to stay organized and responsive in a way that just wasn't possible a few years ago. If you're ready to see these features in action, go ahead and start a free trial or upgrade your plan today to start scaling your sales.